Hello and good morning, everyone. We are about to enter our new Hutan Pantai MP server. All right, so I did get us started on this morning before work, and got the first multiplayer server. Hopefully, there's going to be two. There's an issue being dealt with on the G portal side of things. What the? What did I hit? Whoops. I started a worker. Didn't mean to. So. Technically, I'm working too, Scorp. And I need to turn the volume down. Woo. General settings. Radio off. Yeah. Input control sound. Yes, let's turn that down to 50% like I like it. And vehicle down to 60. Much better. I am working too, Scorp, but I have a meeting during my regular lunch hour, so I took lunch early. And instead of eating, I'm playing the game. Well, I know one thing needs to change. That. I don't know why it cuts it off anyway. I'll have to look into that. But it's supposed to be HMG. And general settings. Turn that off. Hello, Richard. Yes, I got to set up my MP server before work, Scorp. So anyway, how are you? How are you both? Number of headlines. I wish you could set that to 0. You know what I mean? But whatever. Alright, so if I turn him on now, he's going to get started and do that field. I got to stop hitting that button. I'm going to have to remap all my keys. Alright, we have a straw baling apparently. We're just going to dive right in here. Okay, I'm getting conflicting keybinds. Turn on automatic drop. Turn on the baler. And lower the pickup. Well, there already are mods, Scorp. I called it 6 months ago that there would be mods day 0. And there are like 10 mods already. Most of them from Giants, but 2 or 3 are from third parties. But I know you mean your fast farming mods. And I forgot to change bale size. I don't even see an option to do that. Guess this baler only has one bale size. Whatever. Of course you do, Richard. Of course you do. Wow. Workers kicking butt. Field 7's already 10% complete. That's awesome. I haven't tried any of the mods from 22 yet, Richard. But I doubt Courseplay is going to work yet because of all the menu changes. What the? Oh, yes. Stupid frickin'. I wish I could remember what that setting was. How do I make it so that direction change, automatic, manual? There we go. That was easy. Perfect. So, Scorp, do you think we're going to finally get you to play some MP with us? We could use another seasoned farmhand on this server. Yeah, I actually like the menu changes for the most part. They've modernized it quite a bit and made it look a lot nicer. Although there is, where was it? Was it game settings? No. Hold on. I think it actually was game settings. Yeah. Look. They screwed up on the game settings. Big time. I think they forgot to change this code for game settings on a multiplayer server. I don't know what it looks like on single player, but this is using a mixture of the new code, the on-off buttons, and the old code with the toggles and stuff. Oh, how I missed the quick baler. I got addicted to that on our other multiplayer server for 22. Honestly, just the Vicon fast bail would be nice. I'm surprised the Giants didn't release that already. So, Scorp, I doubt you know this, unless you've been paying close attention to the Discord, but my side panel is dead, so I'm reduced to using keyboard with my steering wheel until my Christmas present arrives early. I'm getting the Hori Farming Bundle. Wheel and side panel / stick. But it's not going to arrive for at least a couple weeks yet. And yes, Richard, I will also have the Gold Harvester when my Collector's Edition arrives. I prefer the Hori one. Probably just because it comes with a wheel that has thumbsticks for walking around and whatnot. And the wheel has an indicator, turn signal arm on it. And if I set it up on my desk as wheel, and then just to the right of the wheel is the ignition that comes with the Collector's Edition, and then to the right of that is the stick that comes with the Hori bundle, it'll pretty much be a real tractor cab. Keyboard only. You are nuts, sir. I could never go back from using a wheel at this point. Oh, I wonder how far I'm going to get. I don't think I'm going to have time to finish the... Well, I should have time to finish this field. I have to quit about 11:50. So less than 30 minutes from now, so I can be prepared for my meeting. Oh yeah, I forgot you had one of those nice keyboards with the pressure sensitive capability on the keys. That would make keyboard much better. But I still prefer my wheel. On the upside, with what Giants has provided for old equipment in the game already, I expect to be able to do a vintage series in a month or two. Not on an MP server, apparently, Richard. I was looking at that earlier. So if I go in my contracts menu here, there's no timer. No timers. If I looked at my active ones, no timers. Which makes sense because you don't know on an MP server whether people will continue jobs started by others or not. Morning, George. Scorp, I can tell you right now that the fertilizer contracts pay pretty good. Even after the cost of the fertilizer. Alright. What are you doing just sitting in the middle of the road? You were supposed to go up to our farm. Apparently the AI worker got drunk and went home. So this is our farm. And we own the woods behind us too. And this farm comes with the micro sawmill. So we can do some production stuff right off the bat. Alright, so that is 7 done. I probably ought to fold that, huh? How do I get over to 9? I think I went the wrong way. I didn't realize there was a ditch here at first. I suppose I could just bounce across it, but I'm not going to be Daggerwin. I'll go this way. The proper way. There's already been like 3 updates since the pre-release. Which is that's the version that you would have coming from a disc, but if you use the download version out of your kit, sweet. And this guy should just go to town. If you use the download version of your kit, Richard, you should get the updates automatically as part of the download. So there is one thing that I'm kind of a little bit disappointed with. They have a lot of tractor choices in the base game. But not a lot of implement choices. Way less than there was on FS22. So I'm a little disappointed about that. I also haven't found an invert Y look option anywhere for the mouse yet, which is messing me up big time. Because I've been playing games my entire life where invert Y look was on by default for like the first 3/4 of that, and then available as an option after. But I also haven't spent a whole bunch of time looking for it yet. I think there were only 4 balers, round balers for example. And look, there's not a whole lot of choices for front loaders. They reduced the number of quickie front loaders available. Okay, it was fertilizer. Look at this. 4 fertilizer spreaders. That's it. Pretty limited selection. Round balers. Okay, there was a few more than 4 here, but not a lot of great options here. I don't like most of these. And these, the New Holland and the Case one, are the same damn baler, and they shouldn't be 2 separate entries. They should have been 1 entry where you pick as an option. Not tomorrow night, Richard. Tomorrow night's Wednesday night. And I will not be available. But Thursday night, yes. I haven't really tweaked any of my graphics settings or anything yet either. Other than setting the resolution to 1440p. I'm hoping I can turn up the load distance and not have the ring of death there in front of us. I do, Richard. Disasters are on. So are things that you hate, like weeds. Mine defaulted to ultra settings, Scorp. All I had to change was the actual resolution. And I only did that to make it play nice with OBS. See ya, Scorp. Thanks for dropping in, buddy. I will not be reading. You're funny, Richard. I just haven't played with any of the settings yet, really. Let me guess, George, to version 1.2.1.0. 1210. That is the version I am on. Weeding is easy, Richard. Wow, you're way behind there, George. I might be 1.2.1.1 also, Richard. I might have just misremembered that last digit. 2 seconds. Checking. Library, home, FS25, properties. I don't remember how to see the version on Steam. Oh, crud. I don't remember how to see the version on Steam, guys. I've got my build ID, but not the actual version. Just says your Steam cloud files are synchronized for this app, up to date, yada yada yada. Yeah, I don't remember. Doesn't matter. Let's get back to playing before I run out of time. both of these are completed, so we will collect and collect. Not that we're hurting for money. Of course, we will be once we buy a harvester and a corn header, because we have 3 corn fields. If we look at the map here, this is our farm right here, and we have 1, 2, 3 cornfields. If I go crop types, growth. We don't need anything for them just yet, but oh, full of weeds for those 2. We need to get us a sprayer. Take care of that mess right away. So maybe I ought to just jump straight into that. That's 5,200. That's also 5,200. This is a wider spread width, but otherwise not much to recommend it. We'll go with the widest working width. You know I gotta have my Michelins. We'll get rid of the plate. Boom. It is under general settings, right? General settings. Yeah, general settings. Right at the top, it's the second option. I'd seen it when I was in there earlier. Send this guy up to our farm. Very nice, Richard. Very nice. Four more swaths to do, and I have 8 minutes to do it in. Will I make it? Only time will tell. So here's something that I have noticed. If you guys look in the bottom left underneath the mini-map, my ping time, 23 to 28 milliseconds. Way lower than it ever was on FS22. They drastically improved the performance, I think. For network games, for multiplayer games. Now, obviously, we haven't tested cutting down trees or anything yet, but I've got a lot of bales on this field, and bales, pallets, trees, big bags, etc. were one of the major contributors to lag on multiplayer. Alright, dogs, knock it off. Silly gooses. Come on, quit distracting, Dad. You're funny, Richard. Yeah, when we would play on combined counties, my average ping was in the high 50s, low 60s. Which is playable, but not great. This is great. Now, some of that could have been due to mods, of course. I'm sure some of it definitely was, in fact. On multiplayer, though, George? Because it doesn't affect single player. It only affects multiplayer. But I will definitely find out, because on Tuesday, we'll be getting a log grab for at least one tractor, probably 2 out of the 3, and going to town on the hill behind us so that we can start making stuff at our sawmill. When you guys were doing multiplayer, George, were you just doing, like, one of you hosts the game, or did you guys have a server? No, there's no super strength, Richard. Well, you guys should just play on our server here. You could have your own farm if you wanted to. That is, if you want to do Hutan Pantai. Interesting. They have definitely changed a lot about how contracts work. All right. tuck that thing right back in the corner. Whoops. Wrong button. Yeah, I get that. I'm gonna have to learn this map. We want to go straight right there. Perfect. I'm gonna run down here, pick up our mowers, send this guy back to the farm, and exit. Well, if George was at work until midnight, why isn't George sleeping? Boy, that car came darting out of the mist. Don't need to, Richard. Did I turn the wrong way? No, I didn't. Our guy turned left and went up that way instead of coming the way. That's why we didn't pass him. Don't need to on a multiplayer server, Richard. I already added an extra $1 million by just creating another farm, transferring the money, and then deleting the other farm. I can do that anytime I want. God mode. Alrighty. Actually, even more important than our mowers is that stinking sprayer, but it's going to be the John Deere that does the spraying, not this. In fact, where's the workshop trigger at? Oh, right there. The new triggers are so dim they are hard to see, and I both love and hate that. Wow! Barely scratched the paint and it already wants $8 grand. They obviously haven't fixed that yet. Wides and weights, baby. Ugh. Boy, that's painful to do with the mouse. Richard, I missed my side panel. Alright, put him right on our grass field. And oops, do the magical save game. Yes, wide tires, Richard. Flotations. Wides are flotations. Save that. And at this juncture, I'd like to thank you all for watching. And as always, shut up, Richard. I will